How's it going, guys? Today we're going to be taking a look at in my opinion, some of the best games that have been released for consoles and PCs and everything over the years. But I think is one of the best game companies of all time, and that is Remedy Entertainment or Remedy Games, and they've created some good ones. I'm going to show you all the ones that I have in my collection and some little things too that relate to it. While not their first game that they've ever created, it is a really good one. That is Max Payne for the PlayStation 2. I only have the PlayStation 2 copy. So, I mean, it's not too bad. Let's zoom back out and give you a look at it. Inside, you have a disc with Max on the cover and a manual. And there's also a registration card in there. I believe this was published by Rockstar. So this is way before Take-Two acquired everything. You got the cover on the back. Sorry about the glare. Have to get good lighting for this. Alright, there's Max Payne. Next one, the sequel to Max Payne. Max Payne 2, The Fall of Max Payne, a film noir love story. Another fantastic game by Remedy. Once again, published by Rockstar. It seems like all the way back then that even Rockstar was taking an interest into Max Payne. Here's the back cover right there. Take it out. You got Max and Mona Sachs on the front right there. Fall of Max Payne. I believe this was the first game that actually allowed you to play as another character. You played as Mona Sachs for a little while. 2 discs. Install and play disc. It's kind of like today. How some games have an install and play disc. Even an advertisement for GTA Vice City in the back right there. And of course there's a registration card. Another fantastic game by Remedy. After that, you're wondering, where could Remedy go from Max Payne, a gritty noir type game where you're playing as a grizzled veteran detective? Well, you head into somewhere like this. Alan Wake. I think one of their most acclaimed games. One that people have been waiting for a sequel to since Alan Wake's American Nightmare. This is the collector's edition of Alan Wake. And I think it's one of their best that they've done for a collector's edition. You got this hardback book look for it. You got Alan Wake's signature on here. And you got a whole boatload of extras that come with it as well. First up is the Alan Wake Files by Clay Stewart. Fantastic read. I encourage you, if you could find a copy of this, to read it. Something that was really cool I found on here is the light symbol, is the torch symbol on the back. But yeah, this is a really good book. If you love like the lore and stuff of Alan Wake and everything, then it's something you should really get your hands on. Let's see. And you have the soundtrack in the bonus disc for the game. Bonus disc gives you like a theme and stuff for the Xbox, and there's like a avatar item as well. Soundtrack, of course, is the soundtrack composed by Petri Alanko, and it's a really good soundtrack. I love listening to the Poets of the Fall songs like War, and then they also composed 2 songs for the game, Poet in the Muse and Children of the Elder God, under the in-game universe band name Old Gods of Asgard. Here is the collector's edition version of the case for Alan Wake. It's fairly plain, just the logo of the game saying Limited Collector's Edition. Oh, disc is in my Xbox. I completely forgot about that. I was playing Alan Wake. There it is. And there's add-on content. This is for, I believe it's for the Signal. There's a code in there. It's already been used, so don't even try to use it. Of course, there's a manual for it. Remember when games used to come with manuals and everything? Always so fun to have. Oh. Never noticed the tiny map of Bright Falls on the back. Kind of missed that. Wish Remedy was doing a physical for Alan Wake 2. Then they can do a proper big map for the game. All right. We got more than a couple things, actually. We're gonna get through a lot of this stuff. Next thing, we looked at the 360 release of Alan Wake, but did you know there's also a novelization of Alan Wake? This is basically your own basic novelization. It's a retelling of the game, essentially. It's still really good. It's by, hit the camera. It's by Rick Burroughs, based on, it says, on the new psychological thriller video game. And as I said, it's just, it's basically a retelling of the whole game. There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes I like original stories in the universe, but sometimes, not much you can do though. Next up, Remedy teamed up with Nordic Games for a lot of these releases. I don't believe did they team up with Nordic for this? I'm trying to look at this. I don't think they did. But this is the PC release of Alan Wake. Almost said American Nightmare. That's not American Nightmare. This is an extremely bare bones release. You want to know how bare bones? Look at this. There's not even like a cover on here. I'm gonna open this up. Look at that. Nothing. It's just a single disc, no cover art and anything. You could tell how like extremely like low budget this release was compared to this release. The foreign copy of Alan Wake with the PEGI rating and everything. I believe. Let me see. Is this a UK release? Probably is a UK release of this game. It's got like a nice slipcover on it, sort of like how the collector's edition was. It's got this nice hard clamshell box, and look at that. Look how look at all this stuff that you get into it. You get like a full thick manual. That's probably, I'm gonna assume it's the different languages and everything. Yeah, that's why it's so thick. Manual. You get this nice poster as well. Ooh, I'm gonna see if I can zoom out and try to get this in frame for you guys. Cause I want you to see this poster. It's hard to get into frame, but That's a nice poster, and then there's a picture of Alan in front of the Oh Deer Diner. So move the camera back. Sorry. There's also stickers with Stuckey's, Country Store and Gas. There's a couple of Alan. There's a Bright Falls billboard, Alan Wake, the Sudden Stop, and one of the Shadowmen, or Taken, I should say, and another of Alan. A few postcards that come with it. There's one, Greetings from Bright Falls, signed by Alan Wake. One of the Deerfest billboard again, another. I think these are all signed by Alan. Bright Falls Coal Mine. Is this the lookout for towards Cauldron Lake, I think? And there's this one with the lighthouse right over here. There's a fire watch tower, and then there's the lighthouse. And we're back to the Bright Falls deer. And also, there's a soundtrack, and then there's a DVD. That's everything in there. It's a lot of stuff in here. Kind of impressive for like just a standard release. There is a collector's edition for the PC, but that's kind of really hard to find. I've never seen it. One thing that is rare, though, another one released by Nordic Games, is a US copy of Alan Wake's American Nightmare for the PC. A physical copy for PC. You'll hardly see this. The only copies I usually see are PEGI copies, UK copies, some from different European countries in the UK and rest. This is Austria on it. Might have been made in Austria. I don't think it was, though. It's a sticker on there. I don't know why it says that on there. But yeah, you got American Nightmare here. There's a quick start manual right here. It's interesting to see. You'll hardly see PC copies get physical releases in the United States, especially after like the 2010s and everything. That's really cool to see. And finally, we have one more budget release by THQ Nordic, or as they were known back then, Nordic Games. This is both Alan Wake's American Nightmare and Alan Wake Bundle. This one is actually similar to the back of... It's very similar to the back of this one. I wonder if it's similar to the... Weird. It's not like any of the other backs, but it is similar. And once again, it's a very bare bones release. There's not even a slip cover or anything. Alright, covering up the key just so you don't steal it. Yeah, it's very... This is disc 2. Oh, I see. There's a second disc over here. There's 2 discs. Very bare bones release. I don't get why they keep doing these bare bones releases with no artwork or anything on the case. Seems kind of a waste to me, only having a slipcover. We're gonna time jump from 2012 all the way to 2016. When Remedy released their first Xbox One game. That was Quantum Break. It's a very interesting experiment for video games, combining, of course, video game and live action television show. You got Sean Ashmore, Lance Reddick, Dominic Monaghan is in it as well. You may know him as Charlie from Lost. I forgot where Sean Ashmore is from. Of course, Lance Reddick, you guys all know, he just passed away recently. But he was known as playing the concierge in John Wick. Jesus. Why do I always blank on stuff like that? He was also in Lost along with Dominic Monaghan. But yeah, Quantum Break. I think it's a fantastic game. Launch, it wasn't as good. I think there was a lot of problems with it, especially on the PC port of sides. But fantastic game, man. Of course, we have the weird Xbox cases. I don't know why they do on the right side, but there is a code for the whole entirety of Alan Wake in there. That's neat. On top of an Xbox release, they released a pretty nice looking PC version. I'm kind of surprised that this was even released. This was 2016. Most people weren't even doing physical releases of games, but we got it. I'll take this out, and then comes with a book, The Secret History of Time Travel, which is basically just a whole art book and making of Quantum Break, starting from Alan Wake all the way to this whole thing. Nice book. If you can find a copy of this, it's fairly cheap to find a copy. They made loads of these. Monarch Solutions, of course, that's the company in the game. And of course, discs are falling out because this. Oh boy! Don't get me started on this. Okay, this is the back card. I believe this must have been released in Canada because I can see the French on there. But like the discs love to fall out. But look how many discs are in there. You got, I believe it's 5 discs to install, plus the soundtrack and a Blu-ray which has making of stuff. There's also this right here, which is a quick start guide, which is included with a lot of stuff, and there's a nice poster as well, which just features our main hero on here. Jack Joyce, played by Sean Ashmore. And on the back is same art, but looking a little different. It's a sideways type art. It's a really nice collector's edition. I love it. I should get another copy of this when I ever get the chance, just to have a sealed nice copy. But yeah, this is really nice. I'd get this if you got a chance. Finally, I didn't talk about one thing. Before we get to our last item, you know what? I'll save it for the end. This is a nice item that I'll save for the end because it's unique. It's a handmade item. Most people probably don't even have it. But we'll get to our last game for now, and that is Remedy's most recent release. This is Control. This is the special Steelbook edition they released with the game. There's also one for the PlayStation 4. Very nice Steelbook release. Take that slipcover off. Get a better look of the board pyramid. I believe it's the board. Usually they're represented by like a black pyramid. I keep hitting the camera. I'm sorry. But there's the game. There's also some postcards. Federal Bureau of Control. That looks like the quarry. Some kind of hiss orb in an office. That looks like that area with all those computers that you see in the first half of the game. And there's Jesse. That's all of those. Comes with advertisement from 505 Games. There's the disc. Nice. And there's like a nice red interior. That's really cool. That's all for Control. We are almost done, guys. We got the one last thing to show you. This thing sort of just appeared one day. I don't know. Let you be the judge. This manuscript just appeared one day. Out of nowhere. Found it sitting on the table one time. Decided to read it. Surprisingly, bad things haven't happened yet. But yeah, this is the full manuscript from the first Alan Wake game, Departure. And it is full of stuff. You could see everything. It's all typewritten and everything too. And it's cool. It's amazing. God, it's even got the lyrics for Poet and the Muse by Old Gods of Asgard in it. Fantastic. And that's everything that I have. There's Alan Wake. There's the budget release, even though it says deluxe edition. There's American Nightmare. There's the other budget release. There's Control. I dropped Quantum Break, but there's Quantum Break. All right. Here's that collector's edition of Quantum Break. Gotta fix that eventually. There is the collector's edition of Alan Wake. The novelization of Alan Wake. Max Payne 2, Fall of Max Payne. And the original Max Payne. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Take a time to like it down below. And come back later. I may have something on the Alan Wake Files by Clay Stewart in the near future.